Fang is joining us. He's senior investigator for republicreport.org. Lee, great to see you as always. You have this great new piece, How the Pink Slime Industry Buys Influence in Government. And it's fascinating because the pink slime pictures were all over the internet over the last year. And of course, this refers to that ammonia-treated filler meat-like product that is used, that at one point was only used for dog food, but now actually finds its way into fast food and food that people actually eat. And it turns out that that pink slime has a lot of lobbying dollars behind it.
Yeah, that's right, David. Like so many big public policy problems that our country faces, this pink slime issue, why this product moved from being a dog food into human consumption, from why there's no package labeling or any disclosure about the substance. You can trace all of these problems back to lobbying and the influence of corporate money in politics. Everything from the revolving door to campaign contributions and hiring an army of lobbyists to get their way.
Okay, so in short, the USDA doesn't force disclosure that this ammonia-treated filler is in meats. Is that right? I mean, at least as far as it comes to school cafeterias, some grocery stores, restaurants, they're not compelled to say this is not all meat by the USDA.
No, and the only reason that we really know about this product in so many different hamburgers and other food items is because of great journalism from folks like the New York Times. But no, the USDA does not require any disclosure. Now that there's been a huge outcry in the last 2 or 3 months, the USDA has put out some recommendations that companies voluntarily disclose. Of course, there's a big problem with that because there would be very high-end stores like Whole Foods that have the luxury of picking and choosing. But for school lunches and other places where there isn't much choice, there's probably still going to be no disclosure.
Okay, so I think a lot of people have the kind of assumption when they hear about something like this, or they hear about, Taco Bell beef-like filling or meat-like filling when it's not really meat. They say it's only a fast food problem. If I avoid McDonald's, if I avoid Taco Bell and kind of the regular offenders, I'm going to be fine. This isn't even going to be an issue for me. But it turns out that's not really the case.
No, pink slime, as it's known, is found in grocery stores across the country. There's no exact number that can be pegged because it's not tracked very carefully. But a few years ago, someone estimated something like 80% of ground beef has some trace of this because there's different levels of pink slime found in different ground beef products. Sometimes they'll use a little bit, sometimes they'll use more. But it's really prevalent, everywhere from restaurants to school lunches and that sort of thing.
So talk about exactly how the influence has been bought through lobbyists to have both weak disclosure and the fact that this is okay to even have this ammonia filler. I mean, it starts with lobbying spending, and then it moves into hiring PR firms and front groups. I mean, it's very similar to what Wendell Potter describes in the healthcare pharmaceutical industry.
No, that's right, and I think Wendell is a great expert on this issue. Well, even in the beginning of the pink slime story, you can find the influence of cash and government. The USDA official who approved the move from dog food to human food for this pink slime retired from office and was rewarded with a board position with Beef Products Incorporated, one of the main companies that produces pink slime. And over the past 2 decades, she's made over $1 million from that board position. But now that this pink slime issue is gaining some traction in the media, Beef Products Incorporated is becoming very aggressive. They've hired a PR firm called Ketchum to create attack websites that attack critics of pink slime.
And what's the argument? Is the argument that the ammonia filler is just simply not bad for you?
No, that's right. And I think there is a legitimate argument that using something like ammonium is important because killing E. coli that's very important for food safety. But the disclosure is important, and ammonium there hasn't been a lot of testing. So when ammonium is used to a very high degree, in one of the beef products incorporated factories, they used too much, and I think a woman even died from the ammonium that they used on their meat. So that's a serious issue. And if you look at the critics on behalf of pink slime, the ones that are saying, none of this is any problem, this is all very safe. Nancy Donnelly is one of the quote-unquote experts out there defending pink slime. Well, it turns out that her organization, it's called STOP, received something like $500,000 from the pink slime industry. So that, these front groups play an important role, because if you Google Nancy Donnelly and pink slime, you'll find that she's constantly quoted as defending the industry as a neutral food safety expert.
So last thing I guess I want to touch on is just about every industry has its lobbyists and has its interest groups, etc. Am I wrong in my impression that the meat industry has a particularly good PR mechanism working around them, the kind of, hey, nothing to see here?
Yes, they do. The food industry has to be very good at what's known in DC as rapid response, because a food crisis can erupt within hours, whether it's tainted spinach or a bad beef product.
Yeah.
So they have to be very aggressive in stopping any regulatory efforts that might be sparked by that sort of controversy. And so Beef Products Incorporated, again, this pink slime company, they're part of a lobbying group called the American Meat Institute, which has boot camps set up. And they kind of call these things meetups as kind of a pun. But they train an army of lobbyists to rapidly respond to these controversies. So the FDA, the USDA, so they don't take more regulatory action to make sure that food is labeled, that that there's better safety processes, that sort of thing. If you look at what Beef Products Incorporated is doing right now, they've actually hired several former Democratic members of Congress to stalk the halls of Capitol Hill and persuade their former colleagues not to take any action.
Yeah, no question that the wheels are definitely turning over there. Lee Fang, Senior Investigator at republicreport.org. Great to talk to you as always, Lee.
Thanks, David. Nice talking to you.